listen, I'm a petty bitch too, so like maybe I'll do it a little. But okay, better advice than be petty. Better advice, because in my ripe old age, I cannot be petty at this age. I was petty in my 20s. I was petty in my 30s.
It's valid pettiness. Let's be honest.
Because you could be bitter, you could be mad, you could be sad. I guess what we want to say here is first, your feelings are valid. Stino, that was the week. Okay, welcome back to the channel. You've got your friend. Dylan hates us so much.
Oh, if Dylan keeps it in here. This makes these episodes fun. We're true to ourselves.
Okay, well, welcome back to the Customer Success Hotline. You've got your favorite customer success personalities, Stino and Kristi, here to answer all of your customer success questions. And Stino, we have this is not a customer success related question. I'm going to say that this is like a, how do you navigate kind of question.
I think this is a very personal question as well. Like personal in a way, like it's for me.
Stino submitted the question and he wants my advice on how to navigate this. This is awkward.
No, but it's more like, I think it happens throughout every profession. I think anywhere, not even in SaaS. So I really love this question. And it's basically anonymous person. And I can't complain that they want to be anonymous because of the question, but they're asking like, what would you do if you're helping a coworker out so much that they're winning, but they're running away or they're claiming the win all by themselves? Like, how would you react? First instinct, petty bitch. You would unlock petty Stino, like free.
I think I like petty Stino though. I feel like I'm here for that, the petty version. It'd be fun to watch. I mean, I don't want you to be petty with me, but like, let me just sit next to you and watch. I want to watch it unfold.
Well, that can happen, but I would be petty. In all honesty, I would be petty. First instinct, pettiness. Pettiness across the board.
So since we have to offer advice, we're going to tell people to do something better than be petty. So you've got somebody who basically you and your colleague, let's just say you're at the exact same level, you're in the same role, same spot. This person lacks experience and knowledge around a certain area. They come to you seeking advice and guidance, and you teach them, you bring them to your level. All of a sudden, they take what they've learned from you, they amplify that, and then they get the win. The win in this case could be a promotion. It could be a raise. It could be a new opportunity. It could just be accolades, right? It could be any of those things. So what do you do in that case? Listen, I'm a petty bitch too. So like maybe I'll do it a little. But okay, better advice than be petty. Better advice, because in my ripe old age, I cannot be petty at this age. I was petty in my 20s. I was petty in my 30s.
It's valid pettiness. Let's be honest.
Because you could be bitter, you could be mad, you could be sad. I guess what we want to say here is first, your feelings are valid. That's what we want to say. Grown-up way to say it is okay to feel a certain way if somebody has taken your IP and the things that you have, your experiences, your learnings, and taken it and ran with it. It can feel frustrating, right? Because they will. But let's actually offer some good sound advice. The first thing that I would do here is have a conversation. Like, here's the thing. I feel like sometimes when we hold on to these things and we don't have a conversation, we are hurting nobody but ourselves because we are festering. We are getting mad. It's going to translate into our work, our collaboration. I mean, I think there's only downside if something like this transpires between you and a colleague, a coworker, a friend, even if you're not communicating. It is important for you to be able to say, hey, here is how I feel. Here is what that did to me. This is what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. So I'm going to say the first thing is broker some communication. Like, let's all put on our big boy pants and like have a dialogue. Make it about how you feel, because that is what is happening right now. You're feeling a certain way. So own your feelings.
Yes.
Try not to be emotional, which is hard for Stino. But try to have a productive conversation that just says, listen, you came to me seeking some advice, some guidance, and I was happy. To offer you some support. However, I feel like you took what I did and you claimed it as your own. And I'm not saying that you can't leverage what I shared with you, but where was the acknowledgement of how I helped, or, you know, what, because I feel like that's sometimes where it comes from, right? You want the acknowledgement. You want to know that these ideas and these insights were valid and they were good and they were valuable.
Yeah.
And that is what helped you. So, I mean, my first thing is have a conversation. What do you think, Stino?
I also think it's an ego thing, right?
Right.
Like we all love to get validation, and especially if the advice that we've given turns out to be right or turns out to be meaningful. Yeah, 100%, of course. But that being said, the conversation, textbook definition. But I do believe that it only is helpful if you're strong enough yourself and if you're brave enough to have that conversation. And I do think that wisdom comes with the years, of course. And I do get it when you started with, like, in my 20s, I was petty. In my 30s, I was petty. At my 40s, I was just like, I got you done. And I do think that is that learning curve where you're like, I should have started the conversation, because at the other hand, maybe that person didn't mean it that way. Maybe they simply forgot, or they were just too enthusiastic about results that they booked. They were like, hey, these are the results, and the team started to congratulate them, and it was like a little bit after the fact to give them credit, right? Give them also the opportunity to rectify it if you have that conversation. But then again, be petty.
Assume good intentions. Assume good intentions is what you're trying to say here. Like, let's go into this and say their intention wasn't to take your advice and run with it and claim it as their own. We want to assume good intentions. When you come from a place of assuming good, we're not trying. We are doing. There is no try.
So all my people in the 2030s, be petty.
Listen, I get it. It is hard for me in my 40s, but because I want to be the petty bitch I was in my 20s, because she was fun. But
she's fun as
well. Listen, but like, go in there and assume good intentions and say, listen, I am confident it wasn't your intention to take what I shared with you and claim it as your own. I'm sure that wasn't your intention, but that is what happened, and here's how it's making me feel. Yeah. And create a safe space where the person you're talking to doesn't feel attacked, because you don't want to put them on the defense. If you want to have a productive conversation, there has to be a safe place for an open dialogue. That communication has to feel safe and comfortable for both of you. So figure out, how do I open up this conversation without them feeling attacked, without them feeling like they have to be on the defense. Also, maybe be clear on what your outcome is, because are you expecting there to be like, you know what, actually, I don't deserve this promotion. It was actually Mary. Mary is the smart one, because that ain't going to happen. So like, let's figure out, what is the objective? What do you want to accomplish? Because if you don't have an outcome, if there isn't something you're working towards, then just fester. It'll go away, I guess. But at least have a clear reason. Like, what do you want to accomplish here?
But that's the thing also. If you see that, like, don't act on your impulses, because that enforces the pettiness inside of you. Just take a step back and take a breather for a second. And again, that really helps to put things in perspective, because I do get it. It's an ego question. In the moment that we have a feeling that our ego is getting in danger, or it gets like a little bit of a bump or like an elbow into the ego, that's completely normal. But also think about the times that you maybe didn't do it with another colleague, right? Like, we often are so quick to share results, or to be like, hey, this is what we've done, or this is what I've done. For the people that are running with the wins, don't ever say, I did something. Well, if you are 100% sure that you're the only one that has been working on it, sure. But at the end of the day, and especially, and I'm linking it a bit back to customer success, you are working in a team. You are working with the same customers, with the same product. And in that sense, you're building the strategy together. Don't say that I invented something or I booked this result. It's like, me and the team sat together, decided on a strategy, and this is how we get the expansion numbers. It's a we story, I feel.
Okay, so I'm going to challenge you a little bit there, because I am here for the we, but when you only use the we, it's not clear who did what. So for me, I'm like, we had a win. Here is what each of us did. Product built this thing. They got the feedback. Mary did this other thing, right? Like, I think the we is great for collaboration.
Yeah.
But we do want to own the impact, right? 100%. So each person or each team contributed in some way to drive that reality. So I think that there is a global we. There is like the we, the high level we, but then call out or acknowledge the individual work that's done. Because I feel like what happens is it becomes more difficult for us to acknowledge our impact. And I am very big, again, at this ripe old age, I'm just trying to understand, what is the impact that I drive, right? Because I do contribute. But when we're always in the we forget what that impact is. So yes, collaborative, like we had this win, but talk about what each of us did to get there.
No, 100%. I also do like, I always say like, I couldn't do this because this one and this one did this, and book test result. So in that sense, yeah, 100%. Don't indeed be just like we, because otherwise it's like you and your 20 personalities.
Right. Which sometimes me and my 27 personalities, we are
We
like
did build
epic.
it.
We did do that.
We
did
are
that whole
epic in my
thing.
head.
Right.
I'm
Yes. I
like,
am a we.
We're all sitting in my brain, sitting around the campfire and be like, kumbaya, bitch. We did that.
Okay, so let me flip this. Would you go to, let's just say in this scenario, because let's get real, like,
Okay.
let's make
Let's
this
do a
interesting
little
for a second.
role play.
Would you
subscribe?
If this happened to you, you told me all of your wonderful ideas. I took your ideas, I ran with them, and I got promoted. Would you go to the boss and be like, hey, Bob, but like, that was me. That was the work that I did. Would you go to the boss?
No.
Why?
No, because that's the thing though. I'm that extreme. The rational answer would be yes. And I can't lie. Like, that wouldn't be me as of the person I have today. I would be the one petty gossiping. Like, everyone else knew except higher management. But everyone will know. And he will know. Bob will know, but not from me directly.
Okay.
Because it's a pride in me. It's me. It's an ego thing. Again, I want someone to ask me, like, hey, wasn't that you? And be like, that pride to be like, it was me. It was like, it's also a karma thing. I believe if you put good into the world, good will come back to you. If you put bad into the world, you put bad and you get it bad back. So in that sense, I'm like, I can't help myself. I'm the wrong person to ask advice because I'm like, light up the torch and burn the village down kind of person.
I'm not going to Bob either. But I wonder if the conversation with Bob isn't to take the credit from the person, but rather to say, hey, Bob, I've been doing X, Y, and Z. So now you're talking about your work and say, I am interested in figuring out how to advance my career, or I'm figuring out how do I get the raise, or I would love credit or visibility around X that I'm doing. So obviously this person over here, they're just not doing enough to be visible and to ask for what they want and to put themselves out there. So maybe this isn't about taking anything away from anyone, but rather saying, how do I elevate myself so that in the future, these opportunities are mine, or the accolade is mine, or the money is mine. That's probably the bigger thing here. It isn't that Bob got the recognition. It was that I didn't. Right?
100%.
So if it's not about somebody else getting something, but you not getting something, how do you figure out how do you get it next time?
Well, be the first. Be petty and be like, oh,
all right, we gotta stop telling people to be petty. Stino, like, we can't keep putting this pettiness out into the universe. You need to offer big boy advice. Let's go.
Big boy advice. If you feel very emotional, write it down first yourself. But don't send it. Write it out of your system. Leave it. Come back to it. See it. And then rework it into the way that you have a healthy conversation, like the tips and tricks that Kristi gave earlier. If you don't want to have that conversation, what really helps me is to indeed get it out of your system, but it doesn't mean that needs to go to that person. Write it out to your system until you're content that you're not sitting with it anymore. Leave it, return back to it, and see how you feel. Because 90% of the times, it's just the matter that you want to like blurt it out, but choose the platform wisely to who. Just do it to yourself. Do it to your partner who has nothing to do with work. Ask them for advice. But like writing it out for me is proven to be the best and calming way. Because if you then reread it, you would be like, oof, I would have read that bitch to filth.
Okay, listen, I think we've exhausted this topic. Let's start there. Why are you so upset? What do you wish the outcome would be? Is it because you wish that you were the one who got the things? If so, go chase that. Go have the conversation with your boss. Make sure that you're amplifying your story. Figure out what it is that you have to show, what you have to demonstrate. That is on you. That has nothing to do with the person that you shared those ideas with. And they chased what they were after. You didn't do it. It's okay that they got the win. It's okay that they got the money. If you're upset that you didn't, figure out what you need to do. Second, go have a conversation. It is okay to have adult conversations and say, hey, this thing that happened, here's how I'm feeling. I don't want to feel this way because I feel icky. I want to make sure that we have a good working relationship in the future. I would appreciate some acknowledgement if I'm helping you out or if we're partnering together. That's my ask.
100%. And I'm taking Kristi's wins all the time. Whenever I was like, oh my God.
You were always riding my coattails.
I'm like, I used that survey ID and I was like, it was all me.
I love that for you. Take all the credit.
No, like you're famous. My founder already reacts with like, is this another Kristi idea? And I was like, you bet.
Only give me credit when the ideas are good, but if you fail miserably, keep that shit to yourself, okay? Like, don't be like, that's not Kristi.
Guys, just remember, petty is okay if you're 20 or 30. If you're 40, you need to do it the grown-up way. No.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, indeed, write it out. The why is, again, very important if you listen to previous episodes as well. Why and data points are like the big lines that always are coming back for this one as well. Why do you want it? Why? How? Like, why? Ask it to yourself, write it out, and have the conversation on the most healthy way. 2024 was the year of pettiness. 2025 is a year that we're trying to be even more petty. No, trying to be better. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for a good new episode of the Customer Success Hotline. Kristi, do you want to add something?
For more mediocre advice, come back. But if you've got questions, customer success related or not, obviously this one was not directly a customer success question, but we're here to answer anything. It's going to be based off of our experiences and what we would do in these situations. If you're going to go be petty, make sure that you say and attribute that to Stino. If you're going to go be a grown up and follow the sound advice that I gave you, that's fine. I'll take the credit there. This won't be a we episode. This will be a Kristi and Stino episode. So choose your own adventure. Be a petty bitch or go and have some productive conversations.
Everyone with torches in their hand, follow me. People, again, thank you so much. We're so happy that we get to do this together for you. So keep sending out those questions. I feel that we're becoming each other's therapists. These are very therapeutic. So please keep sending those in so we can have the most fun that I had in ages together for you. Yay. And until now, see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, bye guys.
You've been listening to the Customer Success Hotline, produced by Lifetime Value Media and a member of the Lifetime Value Media Network. Visit the show at lifetimevalue.link/CSH for links to each episode, show notes, and instructions on how to submit your burning question.